Do you remember the quote from The Dark Knight? But I know the truth. There's no going back. You've changed things forever. That is what we're moving on into. A lot of people have this misconception in their brains that we can go back to some 1980s America. They may even think we can go back to the 1780s America. I really like Alexander Hamilton. I like Andrew Jackson. He came along a little bit later. I like George Washington and John Adams. But we are not going to be able to go back in time and make our country like that and live by their ideals. And the problem is that we had a really good jumping off point. I respect those men. But over time, their sons and their sons' sons messed it all up. And as a result, we're on a very bad trajectory. We're moving down the path of either left-wing authoritarianism or some kind of a right-wing reaction. The left-wing authoritarianism is going to look like Joe Biden, but worse. Probably Barack Obama and Joe Biden, but times 10. Where people are going to be locked up for peacefully protesting or for walking into a building in which they were let in, which we now know is the case because of the files that were released from the Republican-controlled House and given to Tucker Carlson when he still had his show. We now know that there was some assets on the ground at J6, and those people still got locked up. It didn't matter. The truth didn't matter to the regime. And so as a result, there's no going back. This idea of, oh, we'll have our day in court and I'm sure eventually we're going to get out. No, if Donald Trump had not pardoned those people, grandmas who were there with Walmart flags would still be in jail. So we're either moving towards that, a left-wing state that locks people up that disagree with them, or we're going to have a bunch of people who'd say, you know what, we're sick of this. We're tired of the left having any control in this country. And we're going to fight until we take it back. And what is that going to look like? It's probably going to look like Trump, but more extreme. Someone who is willing to crush the left, put them in jail, and or deport them. And no matter how loud they shout, how much they shriek, just says, you know what, I'm doing what's best for the American people, the real American people who elected me. There were echoes of it in Nixon, but it looks way less like Donald Trump and way more like Andrew Jackson. Someone who actually stood for his country. And that's really a best case scenario. It may actually lead to, if the left gets mad enough, basically our country having a civil war. But it's not going to be North versus South, it'll be red versus blue. And pray to God that didn't happen.